Hi Amaja, just taking a look at your composition here and your layers. You did do a good job clipping yourself out, although it's not a layer mask. It just looks like you deleted the background maybe. So I'll show you quickly how you would create a layer mask. So if we go here to layer 1, we can use the quick selection tool like we did in the clipping demo, but we could also use the object selection tool. There's a couple different ways of doing this. And if we click on you as a subject, I just click down one time and maybe draw a box over the subject. Didn't do a very good job of getting you. So it didn't do the best job of grabbing you. Maybe the object selection isn't going to work super well. I thought maybe it might, but let's do the quick selection. Drag it over down here. You did a pretty good job selecting yourself. But let's do that, and then we do select a mask. And then we make this layer mask. And then we can kind of do the transparency so we can kind of see the background slightly. And then this is where you can subtract. We can even use the, don't have to use the paintbrush necessarily. We can use the quick selection to get some of this stuff. And this is where the computer comes in. You don't necessarily have to redo your clipping on your layer. You did do a good job clipping yourself out of your background, so I'm not going to make you redo it, but I'm just showing you if you want to make a layer mask. You would go around, refine your selection, subtracting and minusing, either using the quick selection or the brush. Sometimes you can experiment with the refine edge brush tool. You can add a little bit of a feather just to kind of soften the edge. You don't want to go too far with it. Make sure this is on layer mask and push OK. And see, now we have a layer mask. And it looks different, as you can see, with the black and white little thumbnail than what you ended up doing here. So I'm not going to make you redo that, but definitely make sure to bring in and create a couple layer masks in your file. Okay, let's take a look here. And then you have image, modes, RGB color. So we want to make this CMYK. Don't merge. Don't rasterize. Okay. So in image mode, CMYK, don't merge and don't rasterize. And then OK. Let's take a look at your image size. Okay, so we don't have our canvas set up right. So we want to do File, New, 8.5 inches wide. This is how big I want you to set your canvas up. By 11, 300 resolution, and CMYK color. Push Create. So I made a new untitled document. So if we do a Shift here, and a Shift click on the top layer while holding Shift down, click on the lower layer to get everything selected at the same time. Do a Command C as in copy, and then go back to that new file that we made, and a Command V. Okay, so we have them in this new, I don't need that extra layer, so I'm going to delete it. But, so now we have this in here. And we can do Command T. Actually, let's do Shift and click on all of these. Command T. It's locked. Unlock. Command T. And then just size this up to fit the correct canvas size. Push Return. Okay, so yeah, I think this is looking pretty good. Maybe you could bring in some other elements in the sky. Maybe something to do with you or your interests, maybe basketball, maybe a big basketball kind of faded out. If you brought a basketball in, you could create a clipping mask like we just did using the quick selection tool and the enter select a mask area. You can play with the opacity of layers here. So you can see, we could do kind of like a dreamlike effect on your layer. You can go down the list and see which one. You will see a little bit of a preview. This one looks kind of cool because you can see through yourself, but you're still very visible. And you could do the same thing with the basketball that you're not saying you're going to bring one in, but if you were to bring one in, you could use this drop down to create kind of a cool effect with that. So anyway, make sure to change, make a new document. 8.5 by 11 is the size, 300 CMYK color mode and all that that I did earlier, so you might have to rewind the video and then follow along. And then just make sure to create some clipping masks moving forward so that you have those in your file. And you'll need a couple more layers in here. And you did name this well, so good job with that. And good job with your self-portrait. It's looking pretty good so far. Alright, talk to you later. Bye.